Next at 4, WRAL Sky 5 over the scene as officers chased a man wanted in connection with the disappearance of his wife. We have team coverage on the arrest, the massive traffic backup, and the woman they are still looking for. Plus,
it's official. North Carolina has its first $1 million vaccine lottery winner. Is it you? We're breaking down the drawing process and how soon a winner could be revealed.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news at 4. A man is in police custody after this chase involving this SUV linked to his missing wife. This was a scene from WRAL Sky 5. I want you to keep your eye on this black SUV here. It ended dramatically after officers put down stop sticks. And then you can see the man jump out of the passenger side window here and then run into the woods. You can see him first fall down and then run into this wooded area before deputies are able to finally capture this man. This was quite the traumatic scene here on I-40. Thanks for being with us. I'm Lena Tillett.
and I'm Gerald Owens. The chase went through 3 counties, starting in 4 Oaks in Johnston County, where the suspect was spotted, then traveling into Newton Grove in Sampson County. Then Wiggins turned around, went back through Johnston County, where he was apprehended on I-40 in Raleigh. I want to show you a picture of Carl and Kiara Wiggins. Carl Wiggins now in custody in connection with his wife's disappearance, while Kiara is still missing. We have live team coverage this afternoon on this developing story. We begin with Keely Arthur, live on I-40. Keely?
So breaking in just the last few moments, Carl Wiggins' stolen SUV that was parked right here has just been moved by authorities. We're between Rock Quarry Road on I-40 and Jones Sausage Road. Wiggins, as you mentioned, is in custody, and commuters certainly happy right now that all lanes of traffic are now open.
A wild ride on 40 West this afternoon around 1 p.m. WRAL Sky 5 captured the high-speed chase as authorities pursued Carl Wiggins. He is wanted for questioning in the disappearance of his wife, 39-year-old Kiara Wiggins of Sampson County. Carl Wiggins reached speeds of 90 miles an hour as he drove from Johnston County into Wake County. You can see here as stop sticks blew out the tires around mile marker 303, sending Wiggins' SUV hurling into a concrete barrier. Our cameras captured Wiggins' final push to evade authorities as he ran into the nearby woods, only to be apprehended moments later. As Wiggins heads into jail, commuters are left in standstill traffic. We timed out how long it would take to get from Jones Sausage Road to the crime scene. A drive that would normally take a minute or so took more than 10.
It should move a little bit faster now that lanes of traffic have opened up. There is still a bit of traffic, but that's just because it's rush hour and there's, of course, summer construction going on right now. As we mentioned, Kiara Wiggins still missing. They said they did not find her in the SUV, but I will say they studied that SUV for hours, so maybe some important pieces of evidence coming out of that. Gerald?
We'll see what happens there. Keely Arthur live along I-40. Thank you, Keely.
I'm Mark Boyle in the WRAL Live Center, keeping a close look at the roads in that specific spot Keely was talking about. Here is I-40 looking at 3D TrueView traffic right now at 403. You can see there are still some slowdowns there on the westbound or inbound lanes, showing the slowdowns as residual delays continue to mount going into rush hour. Just understand that I-40 through that area is going to be slow going this afternoon. Back to you.
Thanks, Mark. And brand new video here. Less than an hour ago, Carl Wiggins was taken into custody at the Sampson County Detention Center. WRAL's Gilbert Bays has been all over this story. He was there when this happened, and he joins us now live with reaction from family members who are so desperate to know what's happened to Kiara. Gilbert?
Yeah, Lena, let's put this in perspective. It's June 23rd. She's been missing since June 9th. That's 2 weeks that the family has not seen Kiara Wiggins or her husband, for that matter. So he was captured after that high-speed chase on I-40 and brought here to the Sampson County Detention Center. We've got footage of him actually going in. We want to roll that for you and show you that. He's been on the loose for a couple of weeks now. It only took him just a couple of seconds to get out of that patrol car and go into the building, and that's where the questioning now will begin. and hopefully it will lead to the whereabouts of his missing wife. They have been looking for him for some time. He stole the SUV, we're told, down in Bladen County, and returned to Sampson County and was seen on Saturday with it not too far away from the detention center, where family members encountered him, and he was able to leave before authorities were able to catch him on Saturday night, this past Saturday. Now, I did have a chance on my phone to get some footage of Carl Wiggins going into the Sampson County Detention Center. I was able to show it to both his mother, to Kiara Wiggins' mother and her aunt, and I want to roll that to you, and you'll see what her aunt's response is when she sees his face for the first time since Kiara Wiggins has been missing. When you see him, let me know.
Yes. Yes, Lord. Yes. Yep, that's him.
What's going through your head now that you saw his face and see him going in there?
I want to go. I want to go down there. I ain't gonna hurt him. I wouldn't hurt him because it's somebody else's child. I wouldn't hurt him.
What does this mean to the family in terms of Kiara being missing? He's the key to this.
He is the key. They don't go without one another. They together all the time.
You know, and you could hear the emotion in her voice. Got the same reaction from her mother when I showed the video to her as well. Again, let's put this in perspective. They have captured Carl Wiggins, but the loved one, the wife, the daughter, the sister is still missing. And they're hoping that the capture of Wiggins will lead them to the missing woman.
Wow, we are just speechless. Gilbert Bays live in Sampson County. Thank you.
Yeah, sends chills down your spine. And we will be staying on top of this story as we wait to hear about any updates on the missing woman, Kiara Wiggins. We'll bring you any information right here on WRAL TV and WRAL.com.
All right, turning to another story now. President Joe Biden will make a stop in Raleigh tomorrow to encourage more people to get vaccinated. WRAL sources have learned President Biden will be at the Green Road Community Center in Raleigh. The goal of this trip is to highlight the importance of getting the vaccine and mobilizing grassroots education and outreach. I will be there to cover the president's visit along with WRAL's Keely Arthur. Look for our live reports tomorrow.
You could be the state's first $1 million winner in the vaccine lottery. Today, state officials randomly selected winners of the $1 million cash prize, as well as the $125,000 scholarship for vaccinated students ages 12 to 17. WRAL's Aaron Thomas attended the first drawing. He joins us live from the North Carolina Education Lottery office in Raleigh. And Aaron, it could be days before we know who won.
Yeah, that's right, Gerald. Officials with DHHS say that it's going to be a lengthy process trying to identify who this winner is. That winner was actually chosen at random through a computer generator. Once they're identified, they get to pick up and claim their $1 million prize. North Carolina officially has its first prize winner in the Your Shot at $1 million vaccine lottery. Now, how is this different from a lottery drawing?
Yeah, so in this case, there is a relationship between the NC Education Lottery and NC DHHS. So the eligibility is determined based on whether or not you've gotten at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine prior to the drawing.
The state is holding the lottery in an effort to boost COVID vaccination rates. Hattie Gawande tells me there were 4.9 million entries for the big cash prize and 348,000 entries for the $125,000 scholarship. Here's how the drawing works.
It's a random number generator, so when they generate the random number, we'll be able to consult our list of entrants to see who the number corresponds to.
Officials are now in the process of making calls and going through a lengthy verification process to see if the winner qualifies for the prize. And regardless of where you got your vaccine in North Carolina, whether it was a mass vaccination site or a pharmacy, you are eligible for this drawing. Officials stress you want to keep your phone on you so that they can notify you. I can tell you that I'm actually turning my silent mode off so I can hear once they call me. Back to you.
And make sure the battery is charged. Aaron Thomas, live in Raleigh. Thank you.
A woman from Apex and a teenager from Holly Springs are dead after a crash in Greensboro, and now a 19-year-old is facing charges. Authorities say 19-year-old Priya Hairston was driving on I-40 in the eastbound lanes yesterday afternoon. They say she crossed the center median and entered the westbound lanes, hitting two vehicles. 51-year-old Lisa Tate from Apex and the passenger, 17-year-old Victoria Padilla from Holly Springs, were killed. Another juvenile passenger was taken to the hospital. Hairston was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor death by vehicle and driving left of center.
2 weeks after a deadly train accident claimed the life of a teenager in Apex, officers went through a training session today on how to investigate cases like this safely. They're still investigating why 18-year-old Ava Sori was on the tracks in a wooded area near Apex High School. A 17-year-old boy who was with her was not injured. The training was planned before the tragedy. Our state is 10th in the nation in pedestrian train deaths. We've already had 8 this year.
It's so tragic when that happens because it's easy to avoid. Just stay off the tracks, make good decisions. That's all we ask, and that's why we have our staff training on Real Safe today.
According to the organization, someone is hit by a train either walking or in a car every 3 hours in the U.S. Their goal is to teach officers how to investigate these cases safely and how to educate the public that modern trains are fast, quiet, and will not stop on a dime.
The Supreme Court is siding with a high school cheerleader in a dispute over free speech on Snapchat. Brandy Levy was kicked off her high school JV cheer squad by administrators who said the Snapchat she sent to her friends violated policy. The Snapchat used the F word multiple times after Levy didn't make the varsity team. But the justices ruled students do not lose their constitutional rights to freedom of speech or expression, even in school.
Still ahead, the CDC's update on a rare heart condition and vaccinations. What health experts say about the link between young people and the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Plus,
Wake County launches a new way to get young people into these clinics and vaccinated against COVID-19. I'll tell you how teens are talking to teens about the virus and vaccine.
And open up your windows tonight. Temperatures are falling back into the 50s. I'll show you when the warm, muggy mornings return, and you'll need to close your windows again coming up.
Download the new WRAL streaming apps on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Android TV.